Alright, now that we've got our DAW installed and we've got our ACO and MIDI set up, we want to make sure that we've got our plugins. And now, in the first video I mentioned to keep track of where your plugins were actually installed, and there is a good reason for that, because every DAW has a plugin library, and essentially there's two major spots that you generally tend to find the VST plugins, assuming you're using VSTs, is that they are located under one folder, usually program files, Steinberg VST plugins, which is fairly common. You can actually see some of the plugins here listed there under program files, Steinberg VST plugins. And the other place is sometimes you'll actually see it under just program files / VST plugins. It is possible that certain plugins are installed elsewhere, and a lot of the DAWs actually allow you to add a third or more folders where plugins can be found. So if I click into my VST 2.x plugin path button right here, you can actually see that I have more than one folder listed, and this is because I share plugins across multiple different computers. The licenses I have allow me to do that. So make sure that your plugin paths are in your DAW. Make sure that your plugins are installed properly for the DAW that you're using. So like I mentioned before, if you're using a 32-bit DAW, it may not necessarily support a 64-bit plugin. Generally speaking, the 64-bit plugins will take both 32-bit and 64-bit plugins. So keep that in mind, and make sure that all your plugins are being loaded up properly and that there's no errors there. Every plugin kind of has its own different installer and their own flavors and the way that they want to do it, but the really important thing is that you want to make sure that your DAW knows where those DLL files for the VST plugins are being located. So once you have that, you're pretty much ready to go, and you're ready to start a project.